I think if Ole Miss put an offer out there that was the same as LSU's, I think he stays at Ole Miss.
I don't.
I really did. I think he does, because here's the thing: they're about to go into a college football playoff, and who's to say that if Lane Kiffin is the head coach of this team, that they don't make a run for the championship?
It's a valid question, and we'll get to that, because I do think there's something I want to point out as another layer of this. But Jonas, why do you think that?
I think that he views himself as bigger than Ole Miss. I think in the back of his mind, he views Ole Miss as a second-tier program to a place like LSU in Florida.
So,
in what regard, though?
I'll tell you, because I think it's on this regard. I think financially, with what LSU is offering and probably not what Ole Miss will offer, because one of the underlying things is, you heard about the contract, 7 years, $12 million, but up to about 14 with incentives. That gets you around $98 million. There's also supposedly a commitment of $35 million a year in NIL and recruiting. So the difference between whatever Brian Kelly left for and what did or did not happen was largely tied to Brian Kelly not wanting to recruit. I mean, having money is one thing. Being able to actually go out, recruit the kids, everything else, that's a whole different thing. So now you've got a guy who is going to recruit, who does have the money and does have the offensive acumen. So I think it's the money combined with what Jonas just touched on. He feels like, and we're talking about the greatest season in Ole Miss history, the greatest run of success in Ole Miss history. And what's interesting about Lane making this decision is he feels like they're probably at their ceiling. Now, you can use, which is kind of crazy when you look at Indiana, for example, what Curt Cignetti has done, Vanderbilt, what Clark Lee has done. Some of these other schools that you look at, how these other coaches have made them into what I think we believe to be playoff contenders, the ability to compete for a national championship. You know, is that sustainable in the long term? We're going to find out. It's only year 2 of Curt Cignetti. You know, Clark Lee's been there for a little bit building this thing up, but after Diego Pavia leaves, what's that offense going to look like? I mean, it wasn't like it was offensive, prowess for Vanderbilt. At times, it's just Diego Pavia making a play. The play after the play when he starts to scramble around or takes off and runs on pass play. So we get to see a real view of what that's going to look like. And I think, Jonas, to your point, like Lane Kiffin believes LSU is going to be able to win a national championship easier than what Ole Miss is going to be able to do.
He's in position to win one right now. They don't, which I think is the most preposterous thing. You can be butthurt all you want.
Do you think he believes that, though? Because I also feel like he doesn't believe that if he's choosing to leave.